Hey everyone, this is Jason with the Schick Plan. Welcome back to the channel. This is where we go from debt elimination to wealth building through stock investing. If you're new here, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is showing me what I'm doing with my money. Please do your own research. What I'm sharing with you here is a few of my accounts, my taxable accounts, my Roth IRA, and a summary page here. What I want to share with you here is the highlighted green section is what I'm doing lately. It's really about where I really believe that the stock market is at its very height, at its peak, and these are leveraged ETFs or ETFs that are betting that the stock market goes down, whether that's the Dow or the S&P 500 or the Qs or the semiconductor index. All of these green section are different plays on that stock market going down. So you can see how that's going with the taxable account, Roth as well. On the Roth channel too, I've got way too many stocks. I'm going to look to pare that back over time with doing SoFi and covered call investing, SpaceX, and Freddie Mac over time. So these are all different plays. The summary that I'm at right now, I'm at $68,000 in net worth. Completely paid off all the debt that I have. If you haven't seen that, check out one of my first videos on that. And over time, just building back my padding from a cash standpoint. So I have 6 months worth of savings from a net worth tracker. This big dip was just paying off that last of a $65,000 Bitcoin scam that I got nailed in. So for buyer beware on another YouTuber of all things. So again, don't trust anybody on YouTube, especially me. So long story short, building that back, and we're up to 68,371. So I want to jump into the stock market a little bit, give my perspective on this. Starting off with ExxonMobil, you saw recently in the headlines that we're firing missiles back at Iran, and ultimately we're back at it again, where oil prices are starting to skyrocket again, and ExxonMobil is benefiting. It's one of my larger holdings. I have them from top to bottom here as well. You see here, I'm going to pull up the Dow Jones index on the weekly. From my trend lines that I have here, you see that the Dow is at its all-time high, and this is kind of the reversal play that I'm playing. With a high potential reward, betting to that downside. So that's the way I'm looking at it, and playing really defensively from the standpoint of ExxonMobil. And oops, meant to go into the other screen for that. ExxonMobil from getting a little bit of a bounce from the last few weeks of it just stalling at this 50-day moving average. I also have one of my other larger positions is SoFi. That one continues to move up. I do covered calls on SoFi. So I'm selling calls when it reaches at a high inflection point. This green box represents, at least for me, where the upper limits are and the lower limits are. So when it hits the upper limits, I tend to sell calls. And I don't have any on right now. I just recently took profits in some that I sold. I'm actually looking for a retracement here from July to October in the markets in general, and I think SoFi will pull back as well. If it does, I'm going to look to re-enter with more shares, purchasing more shares. So as it goes down into this heavier buying zone here, I'm going to look to purchase more shares, and hopefully I'll have that opportunity. And then I'll look to sell more shares as the stock rises. So that's my intent with SoFi. So I sell covered calls along with that. Just recently, I bought into Vail Resorts. This was actually a play off of Benjamin Cowen into the cryptoverse, and really the idea here is that, if I could put this on the monthly, that the recent lows here over the last few weeks here went kind of swept its lows from way back here in 2020. So it recently swept back to its lows, forming a new lower low. And I'm looking for it to break this yellow trend line and go at least up to the, what is this, the 50-month moving average. So that's a bigger play in that sense. So I'm looking to hold this for a period of time. On a weekly basis, it's just starting to cross over, and hopefully by the end of the week, it'll cross over with a more definitive fashion. But as you can see here, the bull market support band, it's above the 50-day and the 200-day. So I'm looking for that to continue to drive higher. So got a bigger portion there. The PSQ, that is the short QQQ. If I pull up the Qs on the weekly on the left-hand side, you see that it's kind of for me, still at a topping pattern, where at the end of the day, I look for it to kind of come back and hit in that upward trend line. It somewhat broke through last week and this week, and so I'm looking for that to continue on its downward trajectory. And the way I'm playing that is through the PSQ and the QQQS, I believe, as well. Just got to move my screen. So that is down SQQQ. So a couple ways I'm playing that, one with a 3x lever and another with a 1-time lever. Also, I'm playing the dollar index, the Dixie, to go higher. And the way I'm playing that with the stock is the UUP. So again, looking for that to trend higher, playing off of the DXY on a weekly basis. So I have the DXY with some of Benjamin Cohen's research up to about the 105 region. So when that hopefully triggers as it goes up there, that's when I'll look to get out of this. And so over time, this is, again, a play from between now, mid-July, to the middle of September to the start of October. And then I'm looking to get out of, even beforehand, a lot of these short positions in these levered ETFs. So, and maybe even sooner. It just depends how violent the reaction could be from that standpoint. Meant to jump over to the semiconductor index. I'm short the semiconductors, and I'm leveraging SOX, SOXS. Lately, or the last couple of days, it goes down. This one is super levered. When it moves quick. Yesterday, it was way up. It was up 14%. Today, it's down 8%. So when it moves in a direction, it moves. And so I'm a little nervous about it. But again, I think the semiconductor index, I'll pull that up on the left side. I believe that I'll pull up the SOX there. I believe that one, too, is forming a diamond top pattern and looking for that to break. It could pop up here. It could pop up there and then break the lows on the right-hand side of the SOXS, and therefore I would probably have to depart here at this 304 mark here at the bottom here. That's where I'm going to set my stop. So that one is an aggressive play as well. And the last one I'll show you here is SH. That is the S&P 500. It's a one-time lever, anticipating that the SPX will go down as well. Lately, that's been actually trending higher than the triangle pattern that you see there on the upper right. A little harder to see. Sorry about that. And it might even go all the way up to the top here at around 7,600 or 7,650, somewhere around there. But I'm actually looking at this as a fake out. Maybe towards the end of the week, we see this start to rise and break this yellow trend line here on the SH. So those are some of my bigger holdings. Again, going back, 68,371. I continue to plow money into my 401k, continue to plow money into I fully funded my Roth IRA. I am just throughout the rest of the year funding my taxable trading account. So I put in over 50% of my available of my income into savings and investing, and that's what I'm using it in. And so again, here 2026, these are my priorities: paying off my debt, maxing out the Roth, which I've done already, and then swing trading to the downside. That's what we've been covering here the last few times. That's what I'm doing. Come October 2026, I believe that we will hit some sort of a bottom. I follow Benjamin Cowen into the cryptoverse, and this is where Bitcoin, Ethereum, those types of plays could start to bottom. I'm also looking to purchase SpaceX in a more meaningful way. Haven't bought any yet, but I'm looking to hopefully get to those lows where I can start to establish a position. So really, that's where we're at. Want to keep it simple over time. All of those other accounts that have all of those stocks are going to get cleaned up over time from the standpoint of just really keeping it simple and focusing on a few things I can do very well, writing covered calls on SoFi, continue to invest in SpaceX and Freddie Mac as well. So we'll leave it at that. I hope you guys have a great night. Once again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research on stocks, and I hope you guys have a great day.